for infrastructure and investment and so on and so forth is much more than meets the eye. Why it is a major warning not only for the future of Nigeria, but for the future of all of Africa, and why it has less to do with a French and Nigerian friendship and more to do with the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, president of Mali, Assimi Goïta, and the president of Niger, General Tiani, and the fate of Africa's natural resources. Pay attention. So, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has made a new deal with French President Emmanuel Macron for $300 million. Bola Tinubu got into power last year and since then has overseen the worst downturn in Nigeria's economy, possibly in history. I'm saying we are on the verge of total collapse with a level of hyperinflation we have never seen. Definitely not in my lifetime. So this was as a result of fuel subsidy removals, amongst other policies he enacted. And this has quadrupled the cost of basic goods and fuel, while the minimum wage hasn't changed. So I do not know how people are supposed to survive. And this is happening in a lot of African countries, not just Nigeria. You see, Nigeria wasn't a French colony, and that's an interesting point about this whole situation. You see Nigeria here. This is the map of all the colonies in Africa that Britain controlled. So that's Nigeria, and then you've got Ghana, and then you've got all these other countries on the side there, which this was all British colonies. Now I'm going to show you what France controlled. You see, this right here, this area is all French Africa. This was all the French-controlled colonies in Africa. And you see that Nigeria is right in the middle, strategically in the middle of all the French-controlled West African nations. Well, Nigeria and Ghana over there. You see Ghana to the side over there. And that's the reason why it's so interesting that France is now doing these deals with Nigeria, considering what has been going on in French-controlled Africa. You see, France actually colonized most of West Africa with 14 nations under its grip. France maintained control of these 14 African nations with a currency known as the CFA franc. France need new allies, and who better than the giant of Africa? The deal with Nigeria isn't about money. Tinubu himself has way more than 300 million to throw around. The deal is a sign of intent that as France is losing their former colonies, they are getting new ones in Nigeria.